What up? Well, we just finished our physical for the new job. So I had to drive 2 hours away to go take the physical. Passed it with flying colors. Took the piss test, good to go. And first day should be day after Christmas. That's 26th. That's 2 weeks on. Mr. Misunderstood, yeah. As soon as you mentioned about YouTube content, I was like, man, I can go ahead and do a live video. I don't do them that often anymore, but yeah. John Garcia, got my hat on, buddy. This is one of the 2 hats that John Garcia sent me. Man, that's what I've been listening to, is this political crap, man. I don't keep up with politics that much. The type of guy I am, I consider myself a Republican because I try to live my life in a conservative way as far as the values and the way, the love I have for my country, and how much self-pride I have, and I want to work for a living. I don't want anything given to me. I just live by those values. Obviously, I'm not allowed to vote because of my troubled past, so my right to influence it one way or another is null and void. But I still follow most Republican ways. So I don't watch the news, as far as I don't watch these debates. I don't watch, the impeachment stuff. The way I judge politics is if my life is doing better while a certain person is in office and the people around me are doing better, then I consider that to be a good president. My personal life, I've made more money since he's been in office. My taxes are better. They're lower. Gas is cheaper. People are spending more money. The shopping seasons, just like, Black Friday and Christmas, stuff like that, it's breaking records every year. People are out spending more money. And, it's such a childish way they're handling this, man. The fact that the dude was a billionaire playboy his whole life and never even thought about getting into politics, and all of a sudden he's like, one day, fuck it, I'm going to be president. And he did it. And y'all can't dig up any dirt on him from before? Man, I'd have photos and videos snorting cocaine off strippers' buttholes and everything. Billionaire playboy for his whole life. And you can't find no dirt on this dude? And the amount of money and taxpayer money and resources and time that the Democrats are putting into this impeachment shit, and they know 100% in their mind that he will not be impeached. They know it 100%, but they're still wasting their time, our money, and taking away from time that's productive stuff could be done. And it's such a hypocritical party, man. They're upset, which there's no factual evidence to it from what I understand, that they're saying Trump used his power to tell Ukraine, I need to find out about Joe Biden, blah, 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 withheld free money that we give them for some reason anyway. And they're saying that's a crime, which they can't prove that's what he did. But they're not mentioning what was he investigating, the corruption of the guy that's running against him for president. Like, it's so hypocritical. They're trying to Trump is a huge disgrace to this country. Point blank. I hear you. Good vibes, man. I hear you. If you can give me a legit reason, I'll listen to you. But there's no reason, man. The guy puts his country first. He loves his country. He's the only person that's become president that's now poorer, has lost money while in office instead of becoming an overnight millionaire. You know, every other president that comes and goes, they're worth 100 times more than when they went in. He's the only one that's losing money. You know, he didn't have to take this job, man. He's now one of the most hated men on the planet. And before this, you know, he was living a billionaire lifestyle. He didn't need to take this job. It's funny. It truly is funny. The sad part about it is that Democrats would rather see the country fail. The country as a whole, they'd rather see the whole country fail just to hurt Trump and the Republican Party. So they can't give any credit where it's due. They can't admit that things are going better with the country. Not only can they not admit it, but they try to sabotage it. They'd be willing to watch the country fall apart than to see it do well because it's not their party that's making it do well. It just, it's sad, man. What do I think the founding fathers have to say about Trump? Well, I think they'd say, well, Mr. Trump, we appreciate you putting America first, like we intended from day one, European control and all that stuff, because we wanted to be our own country. And Mr. Trump, we appreciate you, keeping the United States as a world superpower. We appreciate you in reinforcing our military values and putting the fear of God back in these countries that have been laughing at us for the past 8 years. You know, Mr. Trump, we appreciate you, making sure people have jobs, making sure, people have opportunities to work. Mr. Trump, we appreciate you not overtaxing even more than it has been throughout history. You know, Mr. Trump, good vibes, man. I've always wondered how people like you wake up and go through this every day. Like, the ignorance. Like, if there's one thing I've never been ignorant. Whether I've done right or wrong, in the past, I've always known whether it was right or wrong, and I've always admitted whether it was right or wrong. You just wake up with ignorance. I mean, you wake up with these shit that you just make up in your own head and beliefs, and I pray that you don't teach this to any type of children. I hope you don't have children, you teach this to them. But it's just pure ignorance, man. And I don't mean that I'm not attacking you personally. I don't mean it in an offensive way. Like, I actually pity you, because this is how you live day to day. And instead of just, because you want to know the truth, man, when Barack Obama was elected, I said, I don't think this is going to work out very well. And not because he's black, or which he's really not. He's half white and he grew up in Hawaii. Come on, let's be for real. I'm blacker than Barack Obama. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. Half white, white parents, grew up in Hawaii. That's as white as it gets. But anyway, when he got elected, I said, man, I work just as hard as you, have the same rights to my opinion, except I'm not. Well, good vibes. I doubt you're a veteran. So no, I think I have a right. I think my opinion counts a little more than yours, because I what you're saying. But continue on, good vibes. But anyway, I felt like it wasn't going to work out. But I did say I hope that he does well for the country. I hope that he makes America better than it was before he got in there. And I said, I hope he proves me wrong. So that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. And remember, this is just my opinion. I'm not very well versed on politics, and I don't want to be. It's just the most aggravating, gives me a headache just thinking about politics. But, you know, when Republicans lose, they just take their loss and they plan for the next battle and hope for the win next time. The damn Democrats have been crying since 2016. Crying. Non-stop, man. God, it's aggravating. That's all they do is whine. They just, it's just, God, it's horrible. And they just never stop. Just take your defeat and then support your president, because it's your president. I don't care how you look at it. It is your president. It is my president. If you're in America, that is your president. Just show support, man. And just accept the good things he's doing for your life, not just mine, not just my neighbors, but he's done more for minorities than anybody in any past president in history, man. Like, they just can't. It blows my mind that, I don't know, man. It's just, it blows my mind. I would have never thought, if you would have told me, okay, well, Trump's going to win in 2016, and this is what's going to be happening in 2020, this impeachment dog and pony show, I'd be like, no, man. Like, that's not, these are grown-ups. These are grown-up politicians. They got better stuff to do, man. I mean, they got more useful, helpful stuff to do for our country. They're not going to go through all this mess. I would have never believed it. But I think they're bringing their own party down. They're hurting themselves so much more than they're helping. They're destroying their own they're destroying their own party better than any Republican could ever hope for. They're destroying themselves, man. They got people jumping ship left and right, man. People that have been Democrats their whole life, and they're probably, just normal people like me and y'all that might be a Democrat because you believed in certain things and growing up and all that. And at this point, you're like, man, like, this isn't who I am. Like, I don't believe in this. Like, this whole pity party and the hypocritical way that we're handling things, that's not who I am. And Lord forgive you if you swap parties, especially if you're a minority. I've got black friends that are Republicans, but wouldn't dare say it out loud because they'll be bashed to death and ostracized and called an Uncle Tom and this and that. So, the freedom of speech thing is Democrats' big thing. They love saying that. Freedom of speech. I can say whatever the fuck I want, blah, blah, blah. Until you don't agree with them, then you lose that freedom. So, you have the freedom of speech until you don't agree with them. Then it's not freedom of speech anymore. Then you're just a racist. Oh, Lord. He has no respect for women. Jesus Christ. Good vibes. You think I give a fuck about that? Really? You think I really give a fuck if he hurts a woman's feelings? Get out of your feelings, man. If that's your biggest thing biggest critique, he hurt a woman's feelings. Let me guess, so other than that, you think, oh, and by the way, he's done more for women's rights, equal rights, than any president in history combined. So we can just squash that and throw that out the door as well. He's done more for blacks, Latinos, women, all minority groups, lesbians, gays. He's done more for all of them than every other president. You know, it just blows my mind that people like you, good vibes, people like you, they just keeps it going, man. Keeps it going. Like you can't admit that he's doing a good job. It just can't come out of your mouth. It hurts so bad for you to think that you can't admit that he's doing a good job. You can't admit it, can you? Taxpayer like you, that's great, buddy. Welcome to the real world. We're all taxpayers. Everybody on here, at least. But you can't admit it, can you? How are you saying I don't pay taxes? We paid over $60,000 last year alone in taxes. As in 2019 is what I'm saying. Like we pay our taxes, I promise you. Yeah, I've noticed that, Christine. He likes throwing the, by the way, I'm not a felon. Okay, good vibes. Congratulations to you. I am a felon, and I just come across jobs more than you're making. Like they just pop up. So I'm doing pretty well for a felon. So yes, you are insulting. Good vibes. That's all you do is insult. You know, you throw the felon thing out there. We get it, man. Nobody here is new. Everybody here knows about my past. All you gotta do is Google my name. Google it and be prepared to spend about half an hour reading up on some good shit. That's all I can tell you. That's literally all I can tell you. Just be prepared to sit there and read for about a good half an hour. John says, fuck that, man. I ain't even gonna say that, man. You know, I started this topic of conversation so that way, because I don't want to suppress anybody that's having an educated talk. Now, if he just hops on here with some troll shit, then yeah, we'll just block him and put him out. But he's I understand that in his mind, he thinks the way he thinks is right. Like he truly thinks that Trump is a bad person, a bad president. He thinks he's done nothing good for this country, and he thinks that he should be impeached. That's his thoughts on this. I respect that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Mr. Misunderstood. Man, when I say Google my name, I'm just telling you, man, be prepared for it. It ain't gonna be it ain't nothing nice. It's a bad history, I'll tell you that now. You're not in line with his values. So what name so are you in line with Bernie Sanders' values, with Uncle Touchy? Which we are. I was just getting your opinion on this. Work hard and stay in your lane. That's great, man. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what we all do. But I'm still asking you a question. Who do you want to be president in 2020? Whose values do you back for 2020? Because you have to pick one. You can't just say, "Oh, I don't care, man." You know. Joe Biden. That's good old family value, man. Joe Biden. Oh, I'd almost rather have Hillary Clinton than Joe Biden. At least she knows where the fuck she is every day. Like, he's losing shit up top. Like, he ain't all there. I'm afraid he'll just go over and hit a button, think he's turning on his coffee maker, and fire off a nuke. Like, come on, man. Yeah, what was that Joe Biden thing saying? Kids in the swimming pool would play with his leg hair and sit in his lap. God, what a train wreck. What a train wreck. Well, Trump can't get impeached today. It has to go through the Senate, which will be, I think, January 7th is when they're back in session. So he can't be impeached today, but I understand what you're talking about. Andrew Yang. You mean the guy that wants to give everybody money? Just give it to them? Is that all it takes to get your vote? Is that all it takes to gain your vote for a candidate, is to say we're going to send you $100 a month because you deserve it? Like, come on, man. Oh. God, they're literally buying your votes, and it's so cheap. It's so cheap. Like, is that all your vote is worth? $1,000 a month, okay. So he give you, if he promises and somehow is able to deliver, which he can't, every person a free $1,000 a month. That's it. That's where your vote goes, for a free $1,000 a month. Oh Lord, where's that money going to come from? Where's $1,000 a month per person going to come from? And who can survive off $1,000 a month anyway? Like, does that mean, oh, I ain't got to work no more? Andrew Yang's going to give me $1,000 a month. Mike Raptor, I sound salty? Far from salty, man. I pity the people that think that way. I can't vote, so I can't, doesn't matter to me, I can't vote, but I can still voice my opinion on it. I did fight for this country, so I feel like I have the right to speak on it, but far from salty, man. It's just sad that I'm raising children into this country the way it's turning into. Oh, Andrew Yang. Which, I hate to say it, you know, Joe Biden's in the lead for Democrat Party, and I pray that he makes it. That's the ideal candidate to run against Trump. You know, that's going to be a complete 100% landslide. Like, and then who's behind Joe Biden? Bernie Sanders. Which both of those guys are worth tens of millions of dollars, by the way. Old rich white men. You know, the thing that Democrats hate. Both of them are old rich white men. Career politicians. Neither one of them have ever worked an honest job in their life. Career politicians. Multi-millionaires off of politics. But that's what y'all want. That is what y'all want. It ain't gonna happen, but it's fun watching. It is fun watching. You've donated $15K to Biden's campaign. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That makes me feel better about the money I've thrown away this year. I've thrown away some money this year. I've pissed away some money, but that makes me feel better about the money I've thrown away. Oh Lord. Mike Raptors donated $15,000. That's funny. You make 10 to 20K a month. That's awesome, buddy. Why would your paycheck fluctuate by half? What kind of job do you have where you can make anywhere from 10 to 20,000 a month? Like, that seems like way too big of a fluctuation for me. I'd be worried about that. You own farms in Washington? What do y'all farm in Washington? Apples? What's the name of your orchard? Or what's the name of your farms? I just want to be able to look it up real quick. I can't do anything to influence it. But what's the name of your farms? That's it. Washington Fruit and Produce is the name. Is that the name of it, Mike? Somebody look it up. Because I'm having to drive right now. Somebody look up Mike's company. Because I want to invest in it. Years ago, he stole $5K from my mate. First of all, I don't know any mates. 0 mates. But I would certainly like $5,000. Who was it? Because I need it. He stole $5K from my mate. I guess we got bad service out here where I am. Christina, was that his name? Minecraft Kid? Yeah, that's my circle of friends right there. I hang around lots of Minecrafters. Oh, I miss the trolling days. Nobody can beat me. I'm the guy. Well, you're not number one in punctuation, I can tell you that. You're lacking strongly in punctuation. But you keep doing your thing. Man, you know, my kids, they play Minecraft. You know, they play on their iPads about an hour or so a day. And they play Minecraft and Fortnite and all that shit. That's okay. I'm not anti-gaming. You know, you can't... Now, you know, y'all know my kids love to play outside. We've got dirt bikes, four-wheelers, Hot Wheels. We do all the outside stuff. But you do have to allow your kids to adapt to current technology. Like, you can't just hide iPads and shit from your kids and not expose them to that, because that's the world that they're growing up in. If they're technology dumb, if they're just dumb with technology, then they're not going to make it very far in the modern world. So it's okay, I think, in moderation, to allow your kids to play these games and stuff. I got nothing against it. So does anybody else feel that way? Anybody else with young kids? You know, I got a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and play some games. I don't think they should be on there for 7-8 hours a day, but an hour or two, you know, after they've done their chores, done their homework, they played outside, they've had their bath, they've had their dinner, and be allowed to to put an iPad. I don't have any problem with that. Because what would it look like all of a sudden their team, like they would be society, man. My 4-year-old figured out how to unlock the passcode on my iPad. Not with the passcode, but he would hold it up to my face while I'm sleeping for it to recognize the Face ID, and then he'd slide up on it and unlock it. That's what my 4-year-old figured out. So I was more proud than upset about that. What kind of 4-year-old thinks of that? He figured out how to use my Face ID while I'm sleeping to unlock my iPad. Like that's something Christina would do. Like that's some sketchy wife shit right there. But yeah, I got no problem with them having they both got their own iPad. You know, they're 4 and 6 years old. But I ain't got no problem with it. Mike, you make your kids work in the summer? Well, I can't put my 4-year-old to work. My 6-year-old can do a little bit. He helps me out outside when I'm working, but I can't expect my 4-year-old to grab the lawnmower or anything like that. But they will understand the value of work when that time comes. It's hard for me not to spoil them, though. I feel like sometimes me and Christina go over the top. We give them a little bit too much. You know, we spoil them throughout the year. It's not just Christmas and stuff. We kind of we give them a little bit more than we should. So we are trying to back it off a little bit, so that way they kind of understand that not all kids get presents and gifts all throughout the year, and you know, how they shouldn't tear up toys, because I mean they'll destroy a toy like it ain't nothing, and they just don't. Usually daddy will just buy them a new toy. So I'm trying to it's hard for me not to spoil them. Like I want to buy them stuff all the time. Not only because I love them and I love seeing them have cool stuff, but I'm still a kid at heart. Like when I go pick out Hot Wheels for the kids, I don't just grab the first 5 I see. I dig through the shelves to find 5 of them that are cool to me. Like I'll spend the time to find the ones that I can show them what they are and why I think they're cool. So it's hard for me not to spoil them. Man, I need somebody to buy this RV. I don't have time to mess with it, man. It's just sitting in my driveway. I'm not going to use it anymore. 2 of the slide-out floors need replaced. It all works. I lived in it like this for a year. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. The slide-out's still open and closed, but they're soft. And the wood on the slide-out floors needs to be replaced. And I just don't have the time to do it, man. Especially now I'm fixing to go back to work. I need somebody to buy this thing and get it out of my driveway. I will sell it stupid cheap. But anybody that's interested in it, send me a message on Instagram. But I mean, I'm going to sell it cheap. As is, you come hook it up, take it home, and you could take it and leave it exactly like it is right now and still live in it. My whole family lived in it for the for the whole summer. But it does need a little bit of work to get to be 100%. But if you want 100% RV, you can go pay 100% of the price. My price ain't 100%. My price is about 50%. Anyway, y'all send me a message. I'm in town now, and I don't like to be on my phone. I'm literally within seeing distance of the place that arrested me this year. So right here, I don't need to be on my phone. Anyway, I'll let y'all later. Y'all send me a message if you want the RV.